Hello and welcome. Thank you for watching. My name is Tony. I am the Children's and Families Worker at Wellsbourne St Peter's Church, and this is the third video on the Sermon on the Mount for part of your RE homeschooling teaching. There is another video you can watch about the Ten Commandments and about Moses, which is quite relevant to what we're doing today because Jesus talks about the Ten Commandments in the Sermon on the Mount. Now you may remember that Moses goes up Mount Sinai and he gets the stone tablets that the Ten Commandments are written on, and he comes back down, he brings those to the people, and he brings the rest of the law, which is written out in the Torah, in the Old Testament, for the people. But what we get with Jesus is this message that we're not saved by the law, we're saved by the cross. What that means is we don't just go to heaven by doing good, because we can never be perfect. We go to heaven because Jesus died on the cross for us. Jesus' dying on the cross takes our sin, the wrong things we do, upon him, because, as I said, we could never be perfect. But what Jesus also says, he didn't come to take the law away, so the rules are still important. And here's why. You see, the law is not just there to spoil our fun, stop us doing what we want to. It's there to show us the right way to live. It's about being good, doing the right thing, and following what God wants in our lives. And that's not only good for us, it's good for the people around us. So even though we go to heaven by believing in Jesus, it's still important to do good things. So let's dive into the story and have a look about what Jesus actually teaches. It's going to start with talking about adultery and divorce, as you can see in the slide, and then talk about some of the other parts of Jesus's moral teachings and when he talked about the Ten Commandments. Jesus had gone up a mountain to teach his disciples. He said, "You have heard it said, 'Do not commit adultery.'" Now this means that wives should be loyal to their husbands, and husbands should be loyal to their wives, and they shouldn't go off with other people. But Jesus said, "I would also say, if you even look at somebody and in your heart you want to go off with them instead, then you are being disloyal to your partner in your heart, and you should be loyal to your friends and loved ones." Next, Jesus told them, "Remember that law Moses said, 'Do not kill'? Well, if you hate somebody, you're actually committing a sin in your heart by wanting to harm them. It's much better to avoid doing such things. Try not to be angry. Don't call people names, but show other people love, even when it's difficult to show them love. After all, anyone can love the people that love them. That is easy. But I want you to love everybody, even those people that aren't nice, even those people who are difficult to love. But if you do have an argument with somebody, be quick to say sorry and make up. Come to an agreement with them quickly." It was also said in the law that whoever divorces his wife must give her a legal document to say so. But, Jesus told them, it's best to try not to divorce, unless for a good reason. Because when you marry, you make a promise to God to stay together. And do not make promises unless you intend to keep them. And let your words be honest. So whenever you answer yes to something, people will know that you mean it. And whenever you answer no to something again, they will know that you are telling the truth. This way, they will trust your honesty. Let your yeses mean yes, and let your nos mean no. If someone is mean to you, do not retaliate. This just makes a cycle of anger and it keeps on going and going. Instead, forgive people. And if somebody wants something from you, then give it to them, and more. And if someone says to you, "Will you walk a mile with me?" be prepared to walk 2 with them instead. So basically in the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus is setting some difficult tasks. He's almost telling us to be perfect. and we'll never be perfect. But what he's saying is we should try our absolute hardest to be perfect. And when other people look at Christians, they will know them by how they treat each other. As I said earlier, if you haven't seen the video on the Ten Commandments, then that's worth having a little look back at, because that's what Jesus is really talking about in this part of the Sermon on the Mount. And there's some activities to go with this video, so again, if you are interested in those, then do drop me a message and I'll include you on the email with the activity sheets. Now, I have a question. Can you remember what the Ten Commandments are? Could you write them all out? If not, maybe you could look them up, or you could watch the video on the Ten Commandments on my channel and see if you can write down what those 10 different ones are. Thank you for watching, and please do check out some of my other videos. It's great to have you. Thanks.